Hi, thanks for being here today with me. I want to talk a little bit about prevention, and in this case more about diabetes and how to prevent complications of diabetes, which we've talked about many times. But let's talk about, in this case, the foot. How do we prevent complications of the foot? And you know, it's a lot easier to prevent things than it is to treat them. Once you have an ulcer, once you have an infection, once you have gangrene of your toe or something, you can't prevent it, it's already there. So what do you need to do? First and foremost, you have to control your sugars. Very important. Control your sugars, do the best you can, talk to your primary care doctor, talk to your podiatrist, talk to your endocrinologist about how you can do that the best that you can. But let's talk about local things you can do for your foot, for example. One, you want to inspect your foot every day. You want to take a look and see if there's been any changes. Is the skin discolored? Is it really red? Is it really white? Is there hair? Has the hair changes? Is there any changes in your nails that may have occurred from yesterday? Do you have any open wounds? Do you have any foul smell that might be going on in there? And it's really important to look in between your toes to make sure there's nothing going on in there, because many times where we live in a really warm environment, if we put a closed-in shoe and we wear socks, you get sweat. The sweat can form the fungus infection. The infection gets there, you're rubbing your foot. Maybe you take a towel or a sock and you're rubbing between your toes, and then you get a little cut in there, which can get infected. So you really want to look, and what are you, again, looking for is make sure you have no open areas, you have no calluses, because the calluses can lead to ulcerations in the right setting. If you have neuropathy, right, lack of sensation, callus goes on to ulcerations. You want to check. Now you say, well, doc, yeah, that's easy for you to say, but one, maybe I can't get down there because my panza's too big, right? I have a big stomach, I can't get down there. Or two, I can't see because I have retinopathy, I have complications in my eyes. Get someone that can help you. Maybe your wife or your spouse, or maybe you have children that can help you. And maybe you have even grandchildren that can learn how to check your feet and what to look for. There's many websites that can go to that can give you what you need to look for. If you go to the American Podiatric Medical Association, APMA.org, you'll see things that are there on the website for kids so they know what to look for when they're looking at their foot, whether it be mom, dad, grandma, grandpa's foot. So one is inspection daily. If you can do it more than daily, that's great. But at least once a day, you want to check your foot for any changes. Number two, you want to not take any houseware items, knives, forks, corkscrews, utility knives to your feet. Many times people with diabetes will get fungal toenails. And it's interesting to me always when they come to see me the first time, you know, they come for a diabetic foot exam, they're sent by their primary doctor, and they come and they had cut their nails the night before and they're all bleeding all over the place because they can't see very well, they don't have the right instrumentation, and they cut their nails and now they cut their skin, or they cut their callus with a utility knife and now they're bleeding and they have an open ulceration. So you don't want to do that. If you have fungal toenails, you want to see your podiatrist so they can take care of that for you. What about shoe wear? You know, I can't tell you how many people, unfortunately, have amputated toes. Some their foot they lost because they wore an inadequate shoe. If your foot's very wide and you're putting it into a nice fancy shoe, whether it be a boot for a male that's really narrow, or a woman in her high heel shoes, very pointed toes, that causes increased pressure there. That increased pressure can cause a wound if you have neuropathy, lack of sensation. And that wound may not heal if you have bad circulation. So please, look at your shoe wears. If your foot's this big, do not jam it into something this small. Even for an hour, even going to church. I can't tell you how many people come. I just wore my shoe to church and now I have this wound. Well, like I tell everybody, God doesn't care what shoe you wear to church as long as you go. So don't wear inadequate shoes. If you don't know what shoe to wear, see your podiatrist and they'll be able to tell you what shoe is right for you. You want to inspect, wear the right type of shoes. You want to put cream on your feet. Why do you want to put cream on your feet? Because people with diabetes have a lack of a sweating mechanism. They don't sweat like people without diabetes. And so what you want to do is if you don't sweat, your foot will get cracked. Those cracks can be very painful if you have no circulation. And number two, they can become infected. You know, a lot of the women or men wear open back shoes, right? The chanclas, the slippers, and the fat pad of the heel is protruding over it. And that causes pressure on the heel. And then you get cracks, and those cracks can get infected or get hurt a lot. So if you hydrate your foot with cream, it makes it more elastic and you don't get those cracks. Prevention is the key. Education is the key. Educate yourself how to prevent foot ulcerations, amputations, infections. That's the key. Thanks so much for listening. We'll see you again.